Ian Castleberry joining the Wise Guys on the DC Creasman Jewelers Wise Lines. Ian, so great to have you, my friend. And boy, we've got a lot to get to. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. Happy draft day.
Yeah, you too. I know you're keeping awfully busy for sure. Barrett Sports Media and, of course, Ian's appearance talking NFL Gold Nuggets and the draft presented by David Creasman and DC Creasman Jewelers. All right, Ian, lots certainly to get up to. But first things first, this just came down that the Giants will not be picking up the fifth-year option of quarterback Daniel Jones. He's just 24. His best year was really his rookie year. He's certainly digressed. And what I thought was interesting, guys, is that general manager Joe Schoen of the Giants literally mentioned the Panthers situation with Sam Darnold, pointed that out, that the Panthers gave Darnold an $19 million contract before he even hit the field. And they said, you know what, we're not going to be doing that. Daniel Jones will be the starter, and he'll have a chance, and it looks like, to maybe earn his way into either a franchise tag or a long-term contract. But God, dude, I think this has to kind of really hit Daniel Jones a bit hard.
Yeah, I think it doesn't mean Daniel Jones' Giants career is over. As you just pointed out, I think it puts him on kind of a prove-it deal, or at least for this year. Does he deserve a fifth-year option, or, as you said, a franchise tag? Puts him on notice for this season. But it may tip off to some of the plans that the Giants have in this draft. They have the number 5 and the number 7 pick. I think it's a pretty safe bet they're going to take an offensive tackle with number 5. And then at number 7, do they think quarterback, or do they dangle that pick to any of the teams that might want to trade up and think they could get one of the top quarterbacks later in the middle of the round or outside of the top 10?
Here we go, Michael. We'll wait and see where this one plays out. And aren't you glad you're a Bills fan? You got a quarterback for the next 7-8 years, barring injury.
It was a long wait.
Yeah.
After Jim Kelly retired, and
poor Giants, poor Panthers fans.
I tell you, that's the missing piece. I think some decent Bills teams that just didn't have that great quarterback, or didn't have, it's you got to have it. And the Bills, took a big gamble on Josh Allen, and it's worked out well. And even up to last year, people still weren't down him. I think people now realize how good he is now, but. You got to get that right. You just got to get that right.
Yeah, Daniel Jones has been no Josh Allen for sure. So we'll see his future obviously very shaky with the Giants heading into the season. As Ian Castleberry plays with the Wise Guys on the DC Creasman Jewelers Wise Lines presented by David and DC Creasman Jewelers. So, Ian, we're going to have some fun here. Is it misdirection by teams leading up to the NFL draft, or are they being upfront? Well, let's find out. All right, Ian, Panthers general manager Scott Fitterer said he told Sam Darnold the team may very well draft a quarterback. Misdirection, or is he being upfront?
I think that's misdirection, although I heard you guys talking earlier in the show as to whether or not David Tepper is going to make the call on these draft picks. And there have been some rumblings that David Tepper really likes Kenny Pickett. He's associated with the Pitt program. I think there's a building on campus with his name on it, and he's become enamored with Kenny Pickett. So if the Panthers do make a move to get Kenny Pickett, especially if they're going to take Kenny Pickett at number 6, I think that says David Tepper is the one in control. Now, if the Panthers are able to trade down and get Pickett that way, maybe less so, or maybe it's a way of appeasing the owner but still filling needs on the team. But at that number 6 pick, I think getting an offensive tackle is too big an opportunity to turn down unless they get a great offer to trade down.
Mike, Panthers fans are going to be we're going to be holding our breath when, with the 6th pick, and then Goodell does that route. I'm going to be, oh God, here it comes. I hope it's a lineman. If it is a quarterback, then I think, as Ian says, especially Pickett, because Tepper's enamored with him. It seems like more of an emotional pick. There are draft analysts that have both Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett going later in the first round.
A lot of them do.
This would be a reach, and I'm not sure it would be a good reach.
Yeah, Willis is up at Liberty, and his numbers were astounding. And that schedule got a little tougher for the Flames this past year, and all of a sudden that record wasn't quite as spectacular as it was the year before. So you just hope that certainly Mr. Pepper should have his say-so, but you got to let your football people do the job. a.k.a. the Dallas Cowboys. You just look at Jerry Jones' first decade, what a decade it was, but he had football people running things. They won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, even with Barry Switzer as their head coach. Yeah. And then Jerry got more involved, and you see what the last 25, 26 years have.
Yeah.
You know, it's McKay. I mean, Dallas is such a good franchise that it can't help but be good occasionally. But have they been Super Bowl worthy the last couple of years? No, sir.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I don't know. I'm off tomorrow, and that may be a good thing. You know, I may be sick to my stomach if they go with the quarterback. All right, Ian, here we go. So before we get back to misdirection up front, you know, yesterday Tepper's held his first press conference since the season ended, and in it he threw support behind Matt Rule and Sam Darnold. I guess I could ask you, misdirection up front, but, you know, at this point, what are the chances both those guys are gone by 2023?
Pretty good, I think. I think most people who follow the Panthers or who cover the Panthers expect this to be a do-or-die season for Matt Rule. Now, David Tepper is up there saying, okay, 5 years, 5 years. I said all along this would take 5 years, but you have to show some progress in those 5 years. Now, I think, to be fair to Matt Rule, the Panthers did show some progress in year 2 on the defensive side. They were very good defensively. Now, they got to turn around this offense, and that may depend on what they do with the quarterback, what they do with the offensive line. Can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? Can Sam Darnold play to the talent that still intrigues everybody, but the production hasn't backed up the interest in Sam Darnold? So I can't imagine if there's another 5-6 win season for Carolina if David Tepper's still going to be saying, 5 years, 5 years.
Yeah, you know how this is, Mike, right? I think they're trying to cover right now for decisions he was probably a part of.
What's frustrating for Panther fans is they've gotten off such good starts. Gotten off to a 3-0 start or 2-0 start or whatever, and it just falls apart for them. And there are just times, Ian, I don't know if you'd agree, Matt Rule just looks sometimes a deer in a headlight look. He just looks overmatched sometimes in the NFL. And just from what I can see in the early going, he can grow into it, but I just don't know if this is if he's the right guy.
It does seem a little overwhelming for him at times, yes. Whether it's just the difference in the pro game or his ability to make adjustments as opposed to coaching in college. That's not something I expected to see from Matt Rule. Quite frankly, I didn't expect him to necessarily, win 7-8 games right up front his first season, but I did expect him to kind of have a handle on things. Yeah.
Ian Castleberry with the Wise Guys via the DC Creasman Jewelers Wise Lines. Our thanks to DC for bringing us in for NFL Gold Nuggets featured NFL Draft Edition today. All right, Ian, so the Falcons general manager, Terry Fontenot, said he hopes the team can draft a quarterback. Atlanta has the number 8 pick overall. I can't imagine them doing this in the first round, but misdirection or up front?
This is total misdirection. The Falcons are not going to take a quarterback at number 8. I mean, they could. If they're enamored with Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis, but there's just too much talent at other positions that the Falcons need help in. Notably, wide receiver. They could take Jameson Williams or Garrett Wilson. One of the top edge rushers should still be there. Or if they want to, get an impact player in the defensive backfield. If Derek Stingley is there, if Kyle Hamilton is there, they could still get a quarterback. They have the number 43 pick. I think it's the 11th pick in the second round. They have number 58 pick there, too. I mean, they could still get one of the quarterbacks available there. Maybe not Pickett or Willis, but, if they have their eyes on someone like Desmond Ridder or Sam Howell, Carson Strong, I think they could still take a quarterback at that point in the draft. But to say that they may, or to hint that they may draft a quarterback at number 8, I think it's misdirection and probably an invitation to other teams that if you want one of these guys and you think he's going to go before the top 10, we're open for business at number 8.
Nice. I love how they play this game. All right, so let's go out west to the Niners, guys. General Manager John Lynch said the team does not want to trade Deebo Samuel, who wants out, but we're hearing word on the street, I think I heard this on the Dan Patrick show today, that the Niners and Jets are talking about a Deebo trade. Do you see the team holding on or trading Samuel at the end of the day, Ian?
I think the 49ers would like to hang on to Deebo Samuel. He's their best offensive player. They don't have to trade him. I mean, I suppose there's a possibility that Samuel could become a disruptive presence on the team, but I think John Lynch is trying to maintain what leverage he has and says, no, we're not interested in trading him, waiting for the offer that could blow them away. Now, I think a lot of teams are looking at the New York Jets because they have 2 first-round picks, as do the Houston Texans, but a lot of the draft chatter and the rumors are saying right now, okay, look at what happens after pick number 9, and if there's a player that maybe the 49ers want at number 10, and the Jets got who they already wanted at 6, then maybe a deal could be made. But I think that's what you're looking at. If a trade is made, it's going to be with the Jets or with the Texans, who have an extra draft pick, an extra first-round draft pick to spare among the top 15 selections.
Think it's happening, Mike?
No, I don't think it is. I just think he's too valuable of a weapon for the 49ers to lose. And the 49ers came so close to going to the Super Bowl last year. It would have been interesting if they had gone. It would have been the 3rd time the Bengals and 49ers had met in the Super Bowl.
All right, yeah.
And everything. They met
82 and like 88? Something like
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, anyway, 82 and 88 Super Bowls for Pete Rozelle's last Super Bowl. So I just can't see them. Boy, if he does get traded to the Jets, all of a sudden the AFC East gets really interesting.
Boy, does it ever. But, Deebo, careful what you wish for. I mean, it's like, okay, we'll trade you to the NFL equivalent of Siberia.
Jets.
May I also bring up one other thing with Deebo Samuel? Is that supposedly one of the problems with Deebo Samuel is that he doesn't like the role that he's playing in San Francisco. He doesn't want to run the ball as much. But I wonder, if you're a team that wants to trade for Deebo Samuel, Samuel's saying, yeah, I want a new contract, but I also kind of want the ball less. Like he's gonna get he doesn't want to get it on running plays. So I mean, he can still get the ball as a receiver, but do we really know? I mean, is he a Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill type receiver who you can throw him bombs down the field and he's always going to get the ball, or you throw it to him short and he makes a play? Or is he exactly what the 49ers have utilized him with in running the ball as well?
You know, I think what Deebo is seeing is enormous, like ginormous money being thrown out to wide receivers these days. And he's like, I want some of that, but if I'm going to be a dual player, I'm not going to get that kind of money. So it seems to me like he's trying to free himself up to be just a wide receiver, so he'll eventually get that money. And also, I think he's concerned that his body's just going to be just completely beaten up after a couple, 3 seasons more of this as well. Look, I can understand where he's coming from. That's frustrating. And maybe Kyle Shanahan can cut down on that to kind of help him out. But he's obviously not happy, and if they keep him, hopefully he's not spilling that over into the locker room. And by the way, speaking of any drama, and certainly pre-draft drama, you seen anything with Jimmy G? Because you see Garoppolo staying put as well, at least for the time being, Ian?
I don't think he's going to be traded before the draft or even during at least this first day of the draft. It seems pretty quiet around Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the teams that could trade for him, whether it's the Panthers, whether it's the Steelers or whatnot, I think they're waiting to see what happens in this draft first. And if they don't get a player or a quarterback that they like, or it doesn't work out the way they're hoping, then they would go into the trade market and go after somebody like Jimmy Garoppolo, like Baker Mayfield. I don't know how you guys feel. I saw one report saying that the Panthers aren't as high on Jimmy G because they don't think he's that much better than Sam Darnold.
Serious?
To which I would say, what?
Oh, totally. See, don't do this to me, Ian. Now I'm just more, oh my God. Jimmy G would be a great fit for the Panthers. Are you kidding me? I would take Jimmy G in a heartbeat. If you surround him with the right people, you give him that offensive line. Good Lord, the guy's been in the playoffs how many times now? Almost made it, as Mike pointed out, to the Super Bowl.
Outplayed Patrick Mahomes for 3 quarters in Super Bowl.
This is what the Panthers are thinking about Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, I'm like, what the? I got to go Lombardi. What the hell is going on out there? I don't understand that. Wow. Okay. Dang it, Ian, you had to do that.
Grab it. Let's grab it out there.
Son of a gun. All right, Ian Castleberry joins the Wise Guys Thursdays with their NFL Gold Nuggets feature presented by David Creasman and DC Creasman Jewelers. So any intriguing pre-draft rumors floating around, Ian, that we're talking about?
It seems a little quiet to me, but maybe I'm not looking in the right places. But I think there are some rumblings with teams. I would look at the Philadelphia Eagles in particular. They have number 16 and number 18, and there are some rumors that they're trying to move up and that they really have one of the top edge rushers, particularly Kayvon Thibodeau, in mind, that maybe they can move into that top 10 with 16 and 18 if Thibodeau lasts that long. Also, the New Orleans Saints are a team that maybe some people think that they're going to try and move up to get a quarterback. I don't know if they have to with where they are in the draft, but with the 2 first-round picks, that they may try to move up and get a player as well.
We're talking about the Steelers may have to move up from 20 to get Malik Willis. I'm not sure if they have to on that, Mike. I think Willis could very well fall. The Panthers don't grab him, and could very well fall.
Yeah, there's some folks that have him high up there, but a lot of them have him back end of the first round. So, but I know the Steelers do have some history of players from Liberty over the years. Eric Green, I think, played there, and so they've had some players from there. So that might be a consideration. I don't know, but I think I just can't see him going the top 10, but we'll see.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll get Ian's thoughts on who goes first in the quarterback draft, Pickett or Willis, in just a moment. But which player comes off the board at number 1 overall? Is it Aiden Hutchinson of Michigan or Trayvon Walker of Georgia, Ian?
All accounts seem to be pointing toward Trayvon Walker. I think that the Jaguars have convinced themselves that Walker has more upside than Hutchinson, that maybe he wasn't used the correct way at Georgia, which to me is kind of a head-scratching comment given how spectacular that defense was in Athens, but that maybe in an NFL scheme with not so many great players around him, maybe that he could fit into a different role and be more dominant. So it sounds like the Jaguars are going to take Walker, and then Hutchinson will go number 2, the Lions. Of course, as a Lions fan, I feel like they're in a great position. They don't lose either way if they get Walker or Hutchinson at number 2.
All right.
Yeah, there is concern about Walker. Just had the one great year where Hutchinson's been more consistent player. So once again
was he a combine sensation, or you look at what he did on the field? I think there's concern with that, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes, man. Holy cow. Finally, Ian, which quarterback comes off the board first, Pickett or Willis?
I think it's Kenny Pickett, but I think teams view him as more pro-ready that Malik Willis. I mean, he has skills that just blow your eyes open, just, the arm strength, the mobility and so forth, but maybe a little bit more of a project. And Pickett would, maybe just need a year to get ready and I think that's why he will go first. But, a team might say, hey, especially if they have a quarterback, we talked about the Steelers, they have Mitch Trubisky, maybe they'll say, hey, we like Willis's upside. We think, he could sit for a year behind Trubisky and develop, whereas as maybe Pickett has already reached his ceiling, really, as far as his skills.
And we'll see. Excitement building, as always, thanks to all the networks, ESPN, Fox, for building up the draft and keeping us wondering who is going to go where. Ian, you're the best, my friend. Always appreciate it. Great work. By the way, I had dinner with Shoop last night, and he was just singing your praises, and I just wanted to I'd pass that along to you.
I appreciate that. That's really nice to hear.
Very impressed with what you do, and we are too, man. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the week.
Okay. Enjoy tonight.
You got it. Thanks so much, Ian. Appreciate you, friend.